Hi everybody, Alex Employer here from Expert Forex, and in today's video we're going to be looking at 3 multiplier strategies for grid trading. And why we're looking at these strategies? Because they are so effective and so consistent that they produce these kind of equity charts and these kind of returns in a very short time on real account. And here's another example of great returns on that kind of trading period. Have another look. Great returns, short period on a real account. Great returns, short period, real account. And I've also included the strategies that was used by these accounts. And these strategies are the ones that I'm going to be explaining in this video. Now, what I've shown you is some individual accounts, but here are some portfolios. Here's an index portfolio trading 15 accounts, and here's a Forex portfolio trading 20 accounts. And you can see how robust these portfolios are. Firstly, the drawdowns are nice and low. The income is nice and high. And there is only one loss in this particular portfolio. If we look at this one, there are 4 losses, but they are actually quite small in comparison with the successful accounts in that portfolio. This technique is incredibly robust, incredibly consistent. It trades all the time. It doesn't sit around waiting for trades. It's trading on a continuous basis. It is becoming our very best trading robot. Now, to understand these strategies, you need to understand basic grid trading and bundle or basket trading concepts. So let's start with basic grid trading. And what you would do is you would divide your chart into a grid, and the center line would be where the price is currently located, and then you'd create a grid. And let's say in this case I've used 100 pips. You'll create a grid 100 pips higher, 100 pips higher, and so on, and 100 pips lower and 100 pips lower. And then you would enter trades, like for instance you do a buy and a sell at that particular point, and you'd use the same lot sizing for all your transactions. So every time the price reaches a new grid level, you'll make sure that there is a buy and a sell active at that particular level, and you would use this kind of lot size. Now let's talk about the basket and bundle closure concept. Quite a complicated one if you are new to grid trading, but how grid trading works, and let's work through it, is remember that starting line that I mentioned earlier. So the first step is to start with a buy and a sell. Now in this example we're going to say, all right, let's say the price moves to the next grid line as shown in the previous chart, and it's a 100 pip grid line. And what would happen then is you would firstly cash in that buy that you opened over there. You will cash it in because it is now positive. You'll cash it in for a 100 pip gain, and then you would open another buy and sell, because as I mentioned earlier, you have to have a buy and a sell at each grid level so that you can positively cash in no matter which direction the price moves. So let's say the price then moves down back to the starting point, that's 0.5. You would then sell or cash in that sell that's over there. You would cash it in for a 100 pip gain, and the price would be back there. So what you do is you're cashing in positive transactions, but you are letting negative transactions ride. So let's just summarize what has happened in that price action over there. Firstly, you've cashed in one positive buy transaction for a 100 pip gain. You've then cashed in a sell transaction for a 100 pip gain, so that's money in the bank. Then you have one open buy at level 2. This is level 2 here. You've got that buy that you opened there is still open, but the price is down here, so it is running at a 100 pip loss. Then you have a sell that you started with over here. Remember, the price went up, so the sell was left behind. It is still there, but it's back to the starting point, so it is back to 0 pips. So if you then add all of that together, you have made a bundle profit of 100 pips, or a basket profit of 100 pips. So that is how the basket and bundle concept works, because at that point you can then decide to close everything and start again, or just keep on trading, in which case you'd create a buy at that particular point so that there is a buy and a sell present at each grid line visited by the price. So that's how basket and bundle closures happen. They get transactions get closed if, since the start when there was a zero balance, since then the bundle adds up all the closed trades and all of the open trades, and if it finds that to be positive, it will close the bundle or close the basket. So it's a fantastic way of virtually pruning transactions and starting all over again in a nice positive balance. And if you want a further explanation of grid trading, here's a video that was produced quite a long time ago, about 4 years ago. It has almost had 400,000 views. And it explains grid trading in a little bit more detail. So before we start looking at the strategies, why do we use multiplier strategies? You will notice that they can reduce the risk by allowing fewer against the trend trades, or they can make closures of the baskets faster by making baskets profitable much quicker. That is the main reason for multiplier strategies. So let's have a look at those multiplier strategies. Okay, so let's have a look at the grid multiplier strategy. Remember, there are 3 strategies. The one says you can multiply your grid. So what you do is, here's our starting point over here, and what you then do is you have grid levels on the side of that particular starting point, and let's say this is a 50 pip example where the grid level would be 50 pips, but then the next one you'd double that, so it's 100, and the next one you'd double that and it'll be 200. Now I must stress, this is an example. You don't have to double. You can increase it by 10% or 20% or 50%. In this case I'm exaggerating it by increasing it by 100% to make the concept clear. So you would start with 50, then you would double that to 100, then you double that to 200. So that's what we mean by a grid multiplier. You're multiplying the size of the grid on a continuous basis. Some traders even multiply it using a negative factor, but we won't go into that. That's quite advanced. So that's the first strategy. Multiply your grid by a factor, and as you see it there, you would then keep your lot sizing consistent. So the next multiplier strategy is the lot size multiplier. So in this case, you keep the grid the same, so it's 100, 100, 100 over there, but your lot sizing then changes. So your lot sizing, instead of using 1 lot for the future transactions, you start using 2 lots, and instead of using 2 lots for the next ones, you use 4 lots. So that's where the multiplier effect happens again, and there we go. So that is another multiplier you can use. So you can have lot sizing multiplier, and you can have a grid size multiplier. And then the third one, which now should become reasonably obvious, you can do both at the same time. So you could actually have grid sizes that are increasing all the time, and you can have lot sizes that increase it all the time. And by the way, you don't have to increase all the time. In this example, I'm simplifying it. Some traders can decrease. So instead of using 2 lots, they would use half a lot and reduce it that way. But those are the 3 basic grid and lot size multiplier strategies that are built into most of our profit retrieval type of robots. And just a reminder, the Expert Forex live account broker is Exclusive Markets, and you can see some of the reasons why we use Exclusive Markets. They provide exceptional products but also exceptional service. So when you use this link, you are linked to our personal account manager, and he will look after you. Furthermore, we use Dipgate as our VPS provider. We have 8 accounts running, and we are incredibly happy with the service and support provided by Dipgate. Now, it's important that you use this code, Expert Forex 20, to get a 20% discount on any VPS services that you enroll for. So in this video, I'm only showing you those multiplier concepts, but there are a whole lot of other concepts that make this kind of trading successful. Firstly, currency selection based on trendiness and volatility, important when you trade this way. Grid sizing, very important to start with the correct grid sizing, and then portfolio creation using portfolio dynamics. In other words, rather than putting all your eggs in one basket, you would then spread your risk by using different currencies, different strategies, and therefore not expose yourself to one strategy failing. The other concepts that I'm not discussing at the moment is there's a pruning concept where should those open trades become many, you can actually start pruning them. And then the other concept is hedging. Should the open transactions start moving in an aggressive way, you would start hedging against that particular movement. And all of this is built into our Lucky Trader, the examples that I've shown you early on in the video. And here we are. This is the Lucky Trader web page. Please go and have a look at it if you're interested in trading in this approach. As I say, it's very robust. The percentage of accounts that are positive is very high. The drawdowns are nice and low. The monthly, because this is not total income, this is monthly income. That's the monthly income. Monthly income is very robust. And then, although that's an average, the 12% is an average, you can see some of the accounts have a fantastic monthly income percentages. And it can trade most instruments. Here it's trading Forex, there it's trading in the indexes, and the indexes are in fact more robust. There's only one account that's negative, and you can see some nice returns trading the indexes there. Now at the moment we have the Lucky Trader in a bundle. Here it is in a bundle of all of our profit recovery strategies. So all of these accounts you see here use this grid and profit retrieval type of strategy to in fact retrieve profits when things are going wrong, and in fact bank those bundles or those baskets in a positive way. So that's how these robots work, and you can actually buy that bundle at an 83% discount. 83% discount. Great opportunity here, and there are a few bonuses thrown in. Also, now you're in a position to go back to the slides I showed earlier, slides like this particular one here, slides like this particular one here, and you can now go and look at the actual strategies shown on those slides. So for instance, here's one where the starting gap was 30. It increased by 170%. I've been showing 200%, but in this case it was 170%. And then the lots increased from 0.02 by 2.5 times. So the lots would go to 0.05 and then 0.08 and so on and so on. So here's an example of using those two strategies together in this particular one, and you can see the beautiful results that have come through with nice low drawdowns. You can now go and look at the other slides and work through those strategies. Now I must stress, I've shown you some historical performance. Historical performance is no guarantee that future performance will be successful. It's only merely a guide. You have to look at the consistencies of those strategies and all those kind of things. Past performance does not guarantee success because the market can change at any time. The Lucky Trader is fortunate, it adapts to a sideways market and a trending market. As I've said, there's pruning, there's hedging that occurs, and a whole lot of other things that has made it a very multifunctional robot. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've learned how these strategies fit into each other. You may have to watch certain aspects of this video again because it covers, if you haven't seen grid trading before, you might have to watch it a few times because it does cover some more advanced grid trading concepts. But certainly go and visit the Lucky Trader website. Go and visit the website of those EAs that are included in that 83% off bundle, and then consider using these kind of strategies. So from me, Alex Seploy, thank you very much for watching this video, and cheerio. Just a quick disclaimer, this video has been made as an educational, entertaining and informative video for its viewers. It is not personal advice, and what works for some traders might not work for you. Please consult your financial advisor before trading. Trading is very risky and you can lose all your capital. It is not a get-rich scheme. Past results do not guarantee future results. There is no guarantee of easy success or good results in Forex trading. You cannot achieve the same results in the future by simply copying strategies and settings used by other traders in the past. Just a reminder to join our expert Forex community of over 30,000 Forex traders. It is free, so don't miss out on any new developments. A link is in the description of the video.